say about Causey, the way he responded after the sixth inning?
Yeah, it was tremendous. I think he got frustrated in that inning. It obviously was kind of a late start to the inning for them, and they made a lot out of it, so kudos to them for that. But baseball, it's not quite like basketball where there's usually runs by both teams, but there's a back and forth that usually happens within the flow of the game, and he bounced back in tremendous fashion after starting out really strong too. So when you add the whole thing together, it was another outstanding night by him. And probably the biggest highlight for him that he'll brag about tomorrow was his play on the bunt that he made defensively.
What gave you the confidence to go back to him and start seventh inning?
Just the way he competes, and I think the track record too. I think whether it's scrolling through your phone or what we get bombarded with information-wise, or when you're cheering for a team, which you like it or not, we get caught up in it in the dugout, you tend to focus on the negative. But if you look at his whole body of work and you look at how he goes about his business and you look at how he's throwing the ball tonight, you basically got a situation where he just misses on a couple pitches, and then they put a couple hits together, which you're not going to hold down their offense completely. There's too many guys in there that are capable and too many guys that are experienced for Vanderbilt. So overall, there wasn't much hesitation from us at all.
You feel like you're not going to hold down your offense either.
No, I mean, it's happened. We had to grind through some wins in different ways against Missouri. Last Tuesday was I don't even remember how we won, but it just find a way to win. So, it is on our side. You would say the same thing. I'd like to think, regardless of who we're playing, there's experience there. There's a lot of options. We used 3 different guys at our DH spot tonight. And if our guys have the right mindset and they're scratching and clawing the whole game, then yeah, you'd like to think there's going to be a way they can produce at the very least some quality at-bats.
What did you see from Billy and Kavares to lead off the 8th inning there?
Just kind of, not trying to do too much. I mean, KT, I think the AB prior had rolled over to the first baseman, but Billy had done that, his at-bat prior, where didn't try and do too much, kind of took what he got. And I realized KT hit his ball a long way, but if you watch the replay, and I'm off to the side, but I think when we watched the video, what we saw is a guy just kind of staying inside the baseball, and he's so strong that it kind of jetted out of here over the left field wall. He's got a lot of strength, but at the same time, if you got that strength and you don't try and do too much, great things will happen. And Simo, Billy, KT, obviously Blake Burke, those guys have shown that time and time again.
How good was it to see Cannon get in there and do what he did?
Great. Now, Simo was standing right next to me during that, and he said he hit a home run by accident. And what he meant by that was, when we watch that video, you'll see Cannon taking 2 huge swings. And really all we need to do was, got a runner at second, hopefully find a hole. And he took 2 huge swings, and then with 2 strikes kind of shortened up, and he really just kind of flicked it out with the flick of his wrist, really. And, he joked it was an accidental home run, but it wasn't the intent of the swing. It was the ability of the kid. If he gets the bat on the ball, it'll go for him, too. He's really strong. You guys have seen him do great things before. Unfortunately, he's drowned out that strength a little bit by either jumping at the ball or having too many thoughts. And, if he understands that less is more, which has happened right there, for us, where we're at is where we're at. You're almost kind of like you're a Major League Baseball team and you make a big trade at the deadline. If you can, get a version of either him or some other guys that, again, have drowned out what their true ability is just by trying to do too much. And, hey, I'm all for guys that want to win, and I'd rather have guys trying to do too much because they're in the battle and they want to do well. But, again, you guys have seen him do great things, as have I. It can be frustrating for everybody, and so it was nice to have a moment where he just kind of, again, he took what he got and was able to flick it over the right field fence.
Why specifically him in that situation instead of somebody else?
That's one of their best arms out of the bullpen. He's really tough on righties, so I think to highlight what Ensley did, was important because that was a short swing through the middle. It was loud off the bat. I mean, Ensley's got strength too when he's not trying to do too much. And even if their infield wasn't in, that thing would have got through. So kudos to him for doing well there, but that guy's really tough, and we were just kind of looking for what we thought was the best matchup in the situation, and good players make you look smart.
Season high in strikeouts for Stamos. What'd you see from him early on?
Yeah, he was good. He was sharp. Even his misses were really good. So I think that would be the thing that stuck out the most is, you want your misses to either be productive or good ones. That can sound kind of backwards if you haven't messed with pitchers or you haven't, coached before. But I think he was sharp, and I think he's gaining some momentum as far as understanding what his role is, how to handle it, and things like that, and how to do so on the road as well as at home. And it's been nice to see him develop that way. It's kind of interesting because he's an older guy. I mean, I don't even know how old the kid is. I know, being from Cal, he's got a lot of experience at that school, but it's kind of nice to see a kid still at that age be able to learn some new things and to develop a little bit, and I think he's been in the process of doing that.
Having been without Russell the way you have, how big has it been to have this setup on Friday with Stamos and Causey work as well as it has for you here lately?
Yeah, it's been huge because what we wanted was on opening day, when Russell and any of our starters were not built up to go 100 pitches, was we really wanted to win the first game of the season. That's the first game you're thinking about for a month and a half while guys are on campus. So we wanted to be Russell and Causey. And so who's going to fill Russell's shoes? Nobody. And I say that with all due respect. Now, our guy we're starting tomorrow is kind of different how he does it, and they've got different strengths and stuff. But I don't know that we'll have another guy like Russell, A.J. Russell, that is, in our program for quite a while. So no one's going to replace him, but you just need to get outs. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be a bunch of different ways. And so technically, we've still got that 1-2 combo dating back to opening day because Stom has approached it in a mature fashion. And again, he's done whatever he's got to do to give us outs, and he's out there for as long as we'll let him. And he usually stands right on top of the mound like I'm going to turn around and go back to the dugout, which I kind of like. And then he is our best cheerleader. Well, he's our loudest cheerleader in the dugout when he comes out of the game. We had to tame him down a little bit tonight.
Is there a program confidence that you guys have against them that you've kind of earned over the last couple of years? Is that such a thing? No matter how a game is going, that you kind of have a confidence against these guys?
No, I think this team, and I'm going to quote a few former players. I would say this team, regardless of the setting, and again, Tuesday was a really frustrating game too. We were able to come from behind tonight. I think this team's got its own kind of flavor or brand to it, and they seem to forge ahead. And it hasn't always gone our way, but regardless of circumstances, you'd like your team to continue to compete. And I think because we have some leadership and we got some guys that got some dog in them, they continually push forward a little bit. And again, if you got some talent, then it can work out in your favor. So again, find a way to win the game earlier in the week, find a way to win the game today, and then tomorrow is all about how can we find a way to go 1-0.